And he would either die, which was fine, because he was never going to tank again anyway. Let's put down... Holy shit! Ooh! Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. It's reset day. Thank God for that. And it's Black Temple week. Oh, man, it's Black Temple week. And not only that, we have ourselves some Mage Towers about to drop. So I'm going to be doing some Mage Tower videos in this series slot. So it's called Pug Life. Some people are like, why is it called Pug Life? Let's address a couple of those. We are going to be playing the Prot Warrior today. Going to explain that in a minute. I call it Pug Life because it's like a common name. It's catchy more than anything. And people are asking about Stark Industries. Stark Industries is essentially a pug. It's a community guild. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no requirements to join or anything. So it's just a place where people can find groups easier and get to know people, that kind of thing. It's a full-on community guild. There are raid teams within it, but they're also just invite anybody and everybody to get in there. So Stark people are pugs. It's just generally easier for me to get into those groups. Obviously, people know me. Very easy when it's a DPSer, for sure, man. Like, queuing up as a DPSer, nightmare. We are going to be doing a +7 Blackrock hole. For those of you who like, though, my more strenuous challenges, I've linked below the VOD after being badgered endlessly by the stream. Disc Priest, +11, Court of Stars. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, so bad. Yeah, there's not much commentary. I was super focused. So I suggest you watch the VOD because that has the stream chat with it where you can see them all taking the piss and having a good time. But we got there. Spoiler alert, we got there. We got it done. Why are we playing a Prot Warrior? I haven't played this in, I'm guessing, at best 7 or 8 months. I don't think I've played the Prot Warrior in 7 to 8 months. Like, I tried it out a few times. Obviously, I tested it on the alpha of Legion. I tried it a little bit more. This has been my main class for at least 11 of the 12 years I've played World of Warcraft and hated it. Really hated it. Did not like it whatsoever. But I've enjoyed tanking so much recently that I think I need to give it another go and come back and refresh myself on it. These are the talents we're going to be doing. So some Radius of Thunderclap. Might not even need that, actually, for Blackrock Hold because it's going to be pretty close together. We're taking Renewed Fury, so we get some increased damage because it's Mythic Plus. Inspiring Presence, yeah, so they can heal the group. Will help a little bit. Will help a little bit with our Grievous that we're going to be facing. We've got some Booming Voice, just some big damage. We've got some Anger Management, so I get more cooldowns back. We've got Devastator, because Devastator... I don't even really need to take Devastator, but I'm kind of getting used to Devastator, or trying to. When I say I haven't played this is the first time I actually spec Prot for anything other than just to dump artifact power since the expansion pretty much came out. Like, I just don't... No. Just a no on this one. It was also quite difficult for me to get into a group. This character is 894, sorry, of 895. He's not enchanted or anything. Got a little bit of enchanting on one ring. That's about it. Wearing a Fury Lego. Got no Prot Legos. I would say the Prot Warrior is probably one of my least played classes. But I know how to tank, so I'm going to use that knowledge, essentially. Everyone's inside. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm waiting to summon. I saw the summon and was like, oh, okay. People are waiting for me. So hopefully this is going to be fine. I don't know. Maybe my guy... You're asking if I'm ready? I'm not even inside, bro. So hopefully it's going to be fine. I have like 12 years of Prot Warrior stuff, right? So we should be okay with the progress here. I'm a little bit worried. I'm not so sure of this ability still, this Neltharion's Fury. Last time I tried this, you could get knocked back and stuff, it could cancel it and all those kind of things. So we'll have to see. This is a complete pug from the pre-made group finder, by the way. I found this pug by just looking for anybody who needed a tank. Essentially, that was it. I just looked who needed a tank. So that's why we're not doing a super difficult one, because I don't want to screw the group up too much, especially on my first run. I think it's a bit silly just to jump straight in. So let's get in here, put our big block up and see how it goes. And we're going to just do this. You know what? I've moved... interrupt. I've moved my Thunderclap to 3. That's usually where I'd have Devastate. And I'm kind of hoping that I can get used to it being there. Do you know when you change a button and it fucking smells because it's in a different place than it's been forever? I'm kind of hoping that's what gets me through this in some way. I'm trying to relearn, reteach this muscle memory. So I guess the next question is, why do I dislike the Prot Warrior so much? It doesn't play nicely, like, at all. So I'm going to drag these in, get this going. Oh, I already have this back. So I do have Thunderclap, which I kind of considered to be a bit of a must in order to get the most out of the spec. So I'm going to... I can't interrupt that one. Please interrupt someone. Someone. There we go, I got it. So we might not have the best group here. I seem to be relatively high on damage. I seem to be relatively high on damage. I can also tell that my fingers are being naturally drawn to pressing Revenge on cooldown, because that's something else that I've like plugged into my muscle memory for so goddamn long, which is obviously a big rage cost at this point. Come on, let's keep it interrupted. Let's keep it going. See, I didn't have my interrupt there because I did the first interrupt. Do you think we're going to be okay? I don't know. I don't expect anybody. Like, I mean, that's kind of a lie. Mana looks good. Nice. Okay. Let's gather. I'm going to put shield wall on, like, immediately. I just want to prepare myself for the worst here. Get Ignore Pain going, start blocking. I'm still very unsure of this ability, Neltharion's Fury. I mean, is it good? Is it bad? Let's interrupt this. I feel like I'm going to be the king of the interrupts in this dungeon, which feels awful, honestly. I'm going to pop Demoralizing Shout here. Try to put out some big damage. Let's try and get a stun on those. Nice. Again, there's a tank. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Our DK seems pretty low. Hopefully that's nothing to be concerned about. I mean, it shouldn't matter too much. It's a +7. So, like, am I stressed about this? No. I'm really loving how Anger Management is getting my my battle cry back so often. I mean, I feel like I can do some real solid damage with it, which is nice. Real solid damage. Some few good things I wanted to talk about today. So many of you mentioned, like, can you talk about the news of the day in this show? What a great idea. Fucking tremendous idea. Absolutely tremendous idea. So the big news of the day last night was, of course, Alpha, the Chinese guild, not only killing Fallen Avatar, but having an excruciating, absolutely excruciating 0.1% wipe. And oh, that felt bad. Didn't that feel like the worst for those guys? And I felt really bad because the point of view is obviously of a mage, which I play as my main, if you're not sure. Going for the ice block at the end of the session to, like, just maybe squeeze that little bit more out. Just give Dots a chance to tick. And he had a pyro proc. Yeah, they're playing fire on that fight. And he had a pyro proc, and he kind of, like, broke it just so he could fire it off. And I was like, you never know, man. Like, I've been there, because on Mythic Crosis I had to do something similar, and you just never know. You don't know whether it's going to come down to not doing that. Did he get 2 buffs? Okay. This should be fine, though, right? Ignoring the pain. Ignoring the pain. Is everyone going to die now? Ooh. Let's use that victory rush. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, baby. 2 buffs. The personals needed there, folks. Personals needed there, folks. Get those personals on. Oh, man, I felt so bad for that mage, because at the same time, his Ignite's running out, which is the burning after you attack with a fire spell. That's running out. And you're in ice block, and like I say, I did this on Crosis, because what you could do is, as you smash the last bridge, you could ice block, and you could survive and keep the boss alive while the dots and stuff tick, because obviously the boss won't reset until everybody's dead. So you can buy those few extra seconds, and he pops the ice block perfectly as well, like absolutely crisp as fuck. It must have had half a second left before the actual wipe ability went off, where he popped the ice block, and then he dropped it to fire off the other pyro. And then once you see a 0.1% wipe, that's when you're asking yourself the question, like, as a Mythic Raider, is like, if I would have just held on, if I just held on for, like, bought those couple of extra seconds for maybe, I'm not sure the raid setup, if I'm being honest, like, the Warlocks have a couple more dots to do. You know, could I have just given us that little edge? I'm being a little bit careful here. I don't want to overpull and bolster the shit out of these things. Get out of that sludge. You know what I mean? It's like, can you do that? Can I hold back just a little bit more and be okay? If I could, that would be ace. That would be ace. That's a big ball-string spider. That spider there wants me. He wants my body, baby. He wants me. He wants me. He wants me. Where are you, big spider? Come on. Is he coming? No? Nice! Or is he here? There he is. There he is, big spider. I knew big spider was around somewhere. I knew he was around somewhere. Get out of there. Ooh. Come on, big spider. Show me what you got. Come on, big spider. Come on, man. Come on, man. So, yeah. But they did kill it after that, which was great. That was absolutely superb. It was really cool to see that they actually got the kill the same night. There's nothing worse. I've been there. I think the first... I can take you back now a little bit to the Burning Crusade. Illidan. And the day I joined the guild, they gave me like this little test, which was to tank... my test was to, on my very first trial day in the guild, was to tank... what's he called? Archimonde? In Mount Hyjal. To tank Archimonde, while the raid leader, not the guild master, was also the tank. So he was like the main tank. And at the time, you had 3 tanks in a raid run. So there was a Prot warrior, who was our raid leader, and a Prot paladin, who was also an officer, and me, the new Prot warrior. So my task was to tank Archimonde and nail that. Like, I had to nail it. But luckily, I had tanked Archimonde before, and it's not difficult either, because it was basically like, can this idiot break fear? Like, that was basically what they were finding out. It's like, can this moron break fear? If so, we're all good, man. We're all good. But then, the same night, they were working on Illidan, right? So, I had researched... I mean, this is back when I, like, tried to avoid spoilers, obviously. I only did that very, very recently, was trying to avoid spoilers. Spell reflect that. And so I had researched so hard what the main tank does, because I was the main tank of the guild I came from. What does the main tank do on Illidiggle? And I wasn't 100% sure what the off-tanks did, which turned out to be a pretty serious role. A pretty serious role. Please don't do that. Like, just hide behind here, right? And look what happens. They'll come around the corner if you just let them do it. Dude. See, I'm worried about the patrol here. I kind of want to line of sight a little bit. I'm just going to move these. It's a nice little technique you can do as a warrior. As a tank. If you don't have great movement, it's just line of sight just for a second so you're not in danger, and then bring them back in. Yeah? I'm not using Battle Cry anywhere near enough. It, like, resets constantly. I need to do that. Get behind here. Do this. I kind of want to pull them, but I'm going to bolster them if I do. So I'd rather wait and get the right pull. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's aim this away in case he does his slam. I don't want to use any cooldowns to avoid slam. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So I didn't really know what I had to do. Don't pull that. That doggy is the worst. Wait. Wait. DK. DK. Okay, he's fine. I didn't really know what the off-tank did, which actually turns out, whether you know it or not, if you didn't raid during BT, and it's not a very big deal in the time-walking version, but it's actually a really stressful job, is tanking the Flames of Azeroth. And that's because during that phase, and it's not in the time-walking version, is Illidan did this horrendous blue beam of death, which was the absolute worst, man. It was the absolute worst thing ever. If you fucked it up, spell reflects up. It was the absolute worst thing in the world because it one-shot you. But the other task that you had to do was move... Obviously, the Flames of Azeroth drop fire, surprisingly. They drop fire. Let's move out of that. They drop fire. And simultaneously, you have to keep them in range of the melee. So, a lot of real strenuous positioning had to go on for the tank in order to make that work. A lot of real strenuous positioning had to go on to make it work. You had to, like, jiggle and wiggle to keep this Flame of Azeroth in the right place all the time. And if you didn't do it, oh boy, were you in trouble. Okay, you could not have made this harder for me to sort out, but I can do this. I got this. Alright. Hold on. Hold on. This is tricky. This is tricky. Okay, do that. Please stop. Why would you do this? Why would you make it this way? And now I have to grab this guy and do this. And hopefully, if I lost, like, here, let's pop some big shit. Let's blow these all up. That was just horrible. I mean, it only takes one thing to screw that up, and that is it. It's Dirtbox City, man. But we fixed it. We're good. We're good. Spell reflects up. And so that was my first night. It was like, okay, Mike, because they always call me Mike, which I thought was really nice. That was the first time anybody had been calling me by my real name in a guild, and I can't tell you how nice it was. It really was for me, is when people stopped calling me Preach, because I'd never liked the name Preach, as many of you probably know. But when this was the guild that was like, okay, we're not calling you Preach. What's your real name? I was like, well, it's Mike. And they're like, okay, you're Mike now from now on. So I said, well, what the fuck is your real name, right? You know, because that was me. It was still me. I was like, well, all right. And well, what the fuck is your name then, dude? And he was like, Apo, or Apollo, as he was called. And I was like, cool, so you're Apo. And he's like, yeah, I'm Apo. And he was like, this is normal for us. And this was the Greek guild, so they were all friends. And they all played together. That's what I didn't realize till later. It's just like a third of the guild all sat in the same room together every time we raided, which must have been really cool. I'm not going to lie, I was super jealous of those guys. So that was my first night. It was like, okay, you're tanking the Flames of Azeroth. So literally, they also had me testing things like I had to tank Nagentis solo because they wanted to see my threat. A big thing with the guild was their DPSs. They had some of the best DPSs in the world in that guild, which meant the tanks, especially when threat mattered, tanks had to be top fucking point on, man. Real top point on. And if you weren't, then you were out. So one of my trial questions was actually, what is your TPS? And once I'd given him an answer, which was realistic as well. I think a lot of people can be very tempted to bullshit that, which I did not. I told the absolute truth. Dark Rush, let's move over here. I told the straight truth, and they were very happy with that because it was slightly lower than his, but I had slightly lower gear. But I was always very, very good at threat. Like, extremely good at threat. And so it worked out nicely because he was like, okay, that'll fit for our guild. That's a good fit. And I was like, awesome, that's really cool. Does he do another rush before he takes off? I can't remember. I'm trying to think here while we do this. And so I had to tank Nagentis, which was when the DPSs just went fucking crazy. Absolutely nuts. I'd never seen DPSs like it, man. I mean, I'd always, like, trained my guys to, like, give me a second, you know? I mean, my threat is great. My threat is really good, and I'm not saying that sarcastically as I get fucking stunned by this fucking mob. It was very, very good. But even then, I was like, it's just good habit for damage dealers just to give the tank a second, and then they can unleash and not have to slow down at any point, which is... That's the ideal, right? That is the ideal. Can we finish these off? Oh, God, I got stunned again. Man, I'm distracted. I'm thinking about the old days, man. I'm thinking about the, you know, the good old days when I was a lad and I was playing that World of Warcraft that time. Yeah, very good. Very good, very good, very good. Very, very good. What a fantastic time it was. Much better now, much better back then, and all that nonsense. Good job, everybody. Give our healer a sec to catch up. Looking good though. Have I got any food on me? I've got a little bit of shit food. Hopefully the healer just top me off so we can get rid of this Grievous. So it's full stacks. There we go. So I had jobs like that to do, and our Prot Pally, because obviously not every boss needed 3 tanks, our Prot Pally would change to Ret as soon as humanly possible. Like, he hated being Prot, which confused the fuck out of me, because he'd been the main tank, or the second main tank, whatever you want to call it, for a really long time. Right, this patrol sucks, and it's going to walk as soon as we start. Yep, there it is. So it was interesting to me, like, any opportunity for this guy not to tank, he would take it in a heartbeat. He was just like, nope. Which I didn't mind, because I was very into my tanking, and I wanted to tank every raid. Like, I was like, I don't want to be Brutal Assault. We need to be careful here. This Brutal Assault with bolstering is bad news. I absolutely wanted to tank every raid. I'm not somebody who wanted to... like tank so I could eventually go DPS. The only time I ever thought that was when Warglaives were a thing. I really did want the Warglaives, I'm not gonna lie. I did want the Warglaives quite a lot. I wanted the Warglaives quite a lot. So who didn't? Who didn't want the Warglaives? Once you saw them in game, fuck me, dude. And I'd never gotten the Thunder Fury either, which made me really sad. So this is gonna be tricky here. Healer's fine though. Can you top me though? Because this Grievous is building up. Yep, it's gone. Cool. I'm kind of getting used to Thunderclap being on the wrong button. And it is the wrong button. I don't care what anyone says. It's absolutely the wrong button. It's 100% the wrong button. Should have probably saved this stun for now, but we're good. We got shield block and ignore pain up. Let's put another ignore pain up. Ignore pain. What the fuck is... I'm going to talk about the Prot area shortly after I tell my old school story. Anyway, so yeah, I got to solo tank a lot of stuff. The only boss I failed on, and I did fail, and I think this is important, is I totally did fuck up a fight. And to be honest, I never really got good at it. Part of it was class reasons, but part of it is, you know, sometimes somebody's doing something, and you're playing exactly the same class, and your gear's the same, and they're just so much fucking better at it than you, and you can't figure out for the life of you what you're doing, what the possible difference is. And it was Gertog Blood Boil, which you'll be able to do this week as well. But Gertog was untauntable, and you had to do many, many tank swaps. So the way you did that was by pure threat. You had to out-threat the other guy. That was a really stupid shockwave. Oh my god, that was a really stupid shockwave. You had to out-threat the other tanks. So the way Prot Paladins, you needed 3 tanks and you had to out-threat them. Now, the way Prot Paladins worked is a lot of their threat came from Holy Shield, which would just reflect holy damage back once they got hit. So he had to go first because once he had stopped tanking, it was impossible for him to get threat back because his Holy Shield wouldn't work if he wasn't getting hit. So it was just impossible. So the way our guild did it was to have the Prot Paladin go first, and then me and Apo would chase, right? We would be chasers, essentially. We would chase his threat. And he would either die, which was fine, because he was never going to tank again anyway. Let's put demo. Holy shit! Oh! 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 Oh, the face! Oh, man. Please don't do that again. Please don't do that again. I've got shield wall. Shield wall, fuck that noise. Dude! Dude! Oh my god. Look at my ignore pain just get chunked. Get out of here, he says. Ignore pain, ignore this, motherfucker. Luckily, I've got demo shout back. Oh man, that was some fucking nonsense. That's what that was. Ugh. So, yeah, I mean, I got to do a lot of tanking. Even our Prot Paladin didn't want to tank Hyjal, which made me sad, man, because I couldn't do that. But yeah, so we had to chase on Gertog Blood Boil in order to get threat. You had to out-threat the Prot Paladin. So it would always be Erebus first. No matter what I did, I saved rage bars. I planned it meticulously. I did it as best I possibly could to go ham on it. And, no. Nothing I could do. Not once did I ever get to be second. And it was a fight, like, because we were friends. So we were fighting it out, essentially, to do it. And, yeah, it made me very, very sad. Very sad indeed. Like, I could never do it. I never once did it. And it stuck with me, even till this day. I mean, I'm telling you about it now. Like, I just could not figure the fucking thing out. Like, what was he doing differently? We only had, like, 4 buttons in the Burning Crusade. How is it fucking possible? It doesn't make sense, man. But he fucking used to do it to me, man. He used to fucking do it. Every single goddamn time. But, and here's how sad it was. Like, sometimes he would... and the only way you could swap after that if he got aggro, because obviously once you got aggro, you were going ham, right? You're not fucking around anymore. And then he'd be like, chase me. Because our DPS, our guild's DPS had enough to maybe need 1 more tank swap, but that's about it, right? That is about it, to be honest. And after that, it was just a case of... This is where the Prot Warrior hate it. It's like, there's just not enough little snap AoE. Oh, it's awful. Awful. Absolutely awful. You know, ignore pain up, keep blocking all these hits. Try and position myself in the doorway. Nice. Nice. Sometimes the healers would be like asking me, it's like, Mike, are you trying? And they were winding me up because they knew I was chasing as hard as I could. I mean, I'm pretty sure, right? I never really asked him about it, but I'm pretty sure he was like going completely all out. And obviously he had more rage than me. Completely all out to try and stop me, like, as a troll. But I was like too proud to ask. I was well too proud to like bring it up. And he'd just go, Mike, you are not, because he had this Greek accent, this sexy Greek accent. He'd like, Mike, you need to take it off me. I'm going to die. I was like, I know. I fucking know, Apple. I know what my job is, man. Why you do this to me, Apple? Why you do this? Why you do this? Good times, though. But yeah, that was my trial run. That was the only time I failed, and I still to this day do not know if I actually failed or whether he was just testing me. He might have just been testing me, which is funny. I mean, if I found out the truth and it was that is pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I mean, I would have probably done the same to him if I'm being totally honest. But just something you could do with tanks, right? Just something you could do with tanks to have some fun. Always nice if you get a tanking partner you can have fun with. I think it's a very enjoyable experience. Well, that was my trial. And then we got to... in fact, we got to Illidan. Let me get back to that. We got to Illidan and fucking nailed it, man. Like, first time. Like, a lot of the stuff they didn't mention to me, like positioning for the melee. And I'm not sure. I never knew the name of the tank I replaced, but apparently he could not do it, like, at all. In any way, shape, or form. He could not do what I did on my trial. And it was a really proud moment for me, because I say this to people a lot. You never know how good you are until you play with better players. You never know. Like, just whether or not you're any good or what, until you play with people who are way, way, way better than you. And that's when you know that you're probably shit. Like, I thought I was the best tank of all time, right? Especially as tanking revolved around threat, and my threat was quite good. But I didn't realize shit until I played with better players. It just turns out that tanking is very easy, especially when threat matters against people who do shit threat. It's way easier. It's way easier to tank against people with shit threat. You're never going to lose threat if they do crap damage, right? That's not going to happen. That was something that dawned on me very quickly when I played against what were easily some of the world's best DPSs. It was like, oh, okay. Skunk Travoliak Katorigas? I don't know what that means, bro. That sounds like are you a comrade? You sound like a comrade. That's okay. I have nothing against our comrades. Oh. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know what that means that the guy just said. He said Skontroloak Kategoras. Slovakian, maybe? Something like that? I don't know. Who knows, dude? Whatever, dude. Whatever. But because I did that on Illidan, and all the melee, I think all the melee, and this isn't an ego thing, but like I said, I was so into tanking, like I took it so seriously that it shouldn't be surprising that it paid off like that. But I'm pretty sure that all the melee said, make sure we don't lose this guy, like at that point, which is normal in a guild. When you find somebody decent, you're like, don't lose this guy. Like the raiders will let you know, which is always nice for like the raid leaders here, is like, especially, you know, endorsing a trial like that. So it was very cool because I got promoted to member like after one trial raid. And I seriously questioned whether I was good enough because I was taking a step up in play to... Oh, fuck. Was I in a stun there? I didn't even see the animation, man. Fuck, that feels bad, dude. Nope, last one. And he's all bolstered up, but that's okay. His health's not too high. Excuse the heal. Get rid of the Grievous. Nice. Coming to the end here, then. Prot Warrior, how am I feeling right now? It feels super mundane. That's the problem with it. I'm still feeling it now. It feels super mundane. Like... I think Devastator is a part of it, although I'm not actually having much downtime. But all I'm focused on, essentially, is just cooldowns and defensive play, which is fine. I mean, it's a tank, I guess. But compared to the other tanks I've played recently, God, this feels so boring. Like, nothing's happening. I mean, the most exciting thing I can hope for here is a revenge proc. It doesn't happen often, exactly. It doesn't happen very often, right? It doesn't happen very often. I think a big part of it is still ignore pain. Like, I'm not digging ignore pain whatsoever. I'm really not digging ignore pain. As just a mechanic in general, it feels super boring. Really lame. In fact, there is a lot of downtime. I'm spamming buttons, and nothing's actually happening. There is a fair chunk of downtime. Let's demoralize him until I get the buff. There we go. Get demoralized on Sun. How do you feel now, huh? Oh, solidly ignored pain, that. I mean, I can use Revenge more actively as, like, DPS, which is what they want you to do. But, again, I'm not really overly feeling it. I think this needs modernizing or returning to its more fast-paced nature. I think... Let me slow down my key presses when he comes out. I should have done this earlier in the dungeon, but... Let me... Oh, shit. Ugh. I thought it was going the other way. Or maybe it changes direction on Mythic Plus. Ooh, God. I'm barely even ahead. gonna get fucking wipeout in a minute. Tank died. I'll be that guy in the story. Right, let me press it as I should. Because I'm spamming keys while I'm talking to you. Is this guy really not going to come closer? Oh, wow, it is slow. Oh, man, I didn't even notice. Look at this. Are you really not going to come closer? Really? There's no dead zone anymore on hunters, you know? You're going out as well? Come help us. I'll help you out. I'm not dragging the boss around, though. I'm not dragging the boss around. Oh, man. Anyway, some warrior stuff for you there. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think that would have been a +3 with slightly higher damage. I think that's where we would have ended up. No loot to speak of. Some boots for our man there. A relic there. Not bad at all. I'll try it out a bit more. I'm going to try it out without Devastator, just see if I enjoy it anymore. Did I need 80 leg plates? No, I got 905 indestructible leg plates. Very useful. Very useful. Ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in today. Have a great reset. Have some great raids tonight. If you're raiding, which most people will be. Enjoy your Black Temple. Send me some screenshots of your glaives, man, if you chuff with them. Looking forward to it. Make sure you get Mongoose on them. Don't make that mistake. See you again, guys. Bye-bye.